is it that majorly men are found in position of authorities than women? Few women are found in position of authorities. Is it because they possess certain powers, or because they have some special?
Question: why are there more males in positions of authority than the female? And the few females who are in positions of authority, what do they have that makes them to get there? Simple. What they have is that they have the competitive advantage that makes the men to be in the position of authority. Let's look at the UK, for example. There are top 40 of the top 40 100 organizations in UK. Only 7 is headed by the female, and about 4,093 is headed by the male. So why so? You should understand that climbing the hierarchy in an organization is a struggle. And the organization, the business world is ruthless, and you have to be ruthless. You have to be tough. You have to be conscientious. You have to be disagreeable. You have to be politically inclined to climb them. And so you need these factors together. I will mention them one after the other. You have to be conscientious. And you see, conscientiousness have 2 factors: orderliness and industriousness. And the women are more orderly than men, whereas the men are more industrious than the women. That means the men can work hard than the women. So you discover that men are industrious. They have all the time to work. You see, the women has a lot of things. Like I said in my previous video, there are a lot of things that make you a woman. There's another thing that make another person a man. Take, for instance, between the age of 25-32, women are struggling to raise a home. And so they will give birth to children. They will take care of their family. They will take care of their husbands. And while doing that, they are compromising the time they need to invest in the organization in order for them to rise. So you discover that the man has all the time, so he doesn't have any biological clock that will hinder him from putting his best. The woman will put to bed and will require maternity leave. And along the time, the organization needs to rise. So you discover that the men have more time to put in hard work than the women. But you need to understand, I'm not saying that the women are not industrious, they are also. But understand that the biological makeup allow the male, because the male have more stamina, they are more stronger than them, than the women. So they can withstand more long time at work than the females. Another thing you want to think of is like the fact that it's competence. I've already said before that organizations are structured so that the more competence is at the top of the other one. So you discover that in order for you to rise, you have to be competent, and competence requires consistency, always available. So you give in your best of time. Let's take, for instance, I am employed a long time with you, and you're already married. So you discover that as I continuously come to work, there are times the organization will give you maternity leave to go home and take care of your child. I'm getting better in what I'm doing, and I'm climbing the ladder than you are. So the truth of the matter is that competence is another thing that makes men rise. More men are competent than women. I mean, you can argue that for all you want, but understand that I am not saying that women cannot be competent. The things around them make them less competent than men. The few ones that top their rank, if you check very well, they've compromised their family standards, and that is the truth about it. Again, you want to think of agreeableness. I think the women are more agreeable. What do I mean by agreeableness? Agreeableness is a tendency to accept most things you're told. Take, for instance, I want to sack someone. As a man, I will not consider what will happen to the person. Will the person see food and eat? What of his family and all of that? I will sack him because it's not giving input towards organization goals. But a woman may begin to consider certain things that are emotional based, and that will make him to still keep a poor staff in the organization. So the women are more emotional, whereas the men are more disagreeable. In a discussion table, a man will not give in to you except what you want, suit what he wants. And that is as simple as that. So you discover that men are more disagreeable than women. And this is one of the reasons why the men keep on rising in organization than the female. Now you want to put it this way, you want to think this, that some women are also disagreeable. I agree with you, some women are disagreeable. But when you begin to look at the ratio, more men are disagreeable than the women. Again, see, the frank is that, you see, take for instance in Scandinavia, where this issue of gender equality has been tested, or equality of outcome has been tested. Equality of outcome means allow the man to be a man, allow the female to be a female, and then give them some jobs, let them make their decisions when they finish high school or when they finish secondary school. The truth of the matter is that a man will go for technical jobs and a woman will go for jobs that has to do with care. And that's why you find more women in the health and in education than you find them in engineering or tech. So you discover that the more egalitarian a society is, the more the gender gap widens. So a man will go for what a man will go for if every other thing such as salary are kept constant, whereas a woman will go for a woman will go for. And technical jobs require your brain, require a high IQ. Men have all the time to think and figure out some of those things. Women do not have some of those time to think and figure out those things. So what am I saying in essence, Belumi? You see, you're young and you're about starting you're just in your college right now. If you want to rise in organization, put in competence, put in hard work. I mean, when you get there, put in competence, put in hard work, and you just see yourself rising. And sometimes try to be disagreeable, and be disagreeable in things that are favorable to the organization. Point blank, everyone can rise to the top of his organization. It's not because you're a man, though masculinity has something to do with it, but that is not all about it. So you also, and every other woman or every other female somewhere else, can rise in organization to the top, not just the male.